All right, in the top left here are Prion Terraces from Millennium, the Terran player Daishi.
Daishi in that red. They're going to start things off pretty strong here.
So
and down in the bottom right, in the blue, the Protoss player from My Insanity, it is PtitDrogo.
Is indeed the recent winner of DreamHack Leipzig. Of course, the #1 WCS point holder right now. And both players really want to get that into the round of 16 and start that journey towards getting that WCS Global Final seed. All the way to BlizzCon already if they manage to take out this tournament.
Yeah, imagine everybody has so much stress coming into this one. You want to make it all the way through, but the bracket is insane. That's really why it is one of these huge championships. I'm glad we get to do actually all of the round of 32 as well, just so we can see everyone come through. Shout out to Bay Street TV covering all the other stuff as well.
Wow.
It's really cool. Whoa.
Yeah, this is looking like some. That's 3 Racks Reaper coming up here for young Daishi. Actually, he hasn't gotten any gas, so perhaps not. Maybe just.
Yeah,
wow.
this looks like it's going to be Marines straight from the get-go. He's just going to make a lot of stuff, and
this is weird.
I love the idea, Maynard, because on this map you see the natural. It's a gold base. You want to take that as soon as possible. Both players are saying, hey, you know, if we just sit back and we both play a macro game, it's so valuable to get that natural that we should both get it, right? Well, no, Daishi says he wants to turn up the heat.
And when you see that Drogo is looking for that extra CC on the low ground there, hasn't seen it yet, so the clogs may be ticking in his brain at this point. Yeah. You know, it's been gasless. He did get in the main and have a look. So, yeah, he's going to need to start getting pretty defensive here as Daishi's starting things off pretty interestingly in this showdown of the Frenchmen.
Yeah, he needs to get some pylons down here on the low ground, get that mothership core out here as soon as possible. He's sending out another scouting probe. It's going directly to that gold base.
Oh, yeah, he's going to see that extra barracks here. And, I mean, if he wasn't sure before, he'd be sure now.
Yeah, now he's got a pretty good feel. He's only seen 2, but with the bunker coming down, he immediately cancels that Nexus.
Yeah, you have to, absolutely. No way you hold that Nexus. And even dropping an engineering bay, an extremely high hit point structure if you cancel it early. Very tough for the Protoss to deal with without significant DPS. And obviously, you're going to only have probes for the short while. Yep. And here comes the Marine pressure from Daishi. Already going to get a probe kill here.
Needs to get those probes up the ramp. Mothership core has come out here. Is going to cancel one of the pylons, deciding he only needs 1. There aren't enough Marines out here to really focus down one pylon either,
he really can't snipe that Mothership core just yet with the Marine count, but he is up to 6 now, and that's definitely starting to get scary. And dropping a CC behind this, so this is just an extremely aggressive pressure from Daishi, but he put a lot of resources into that.
Yeah, he put a lot of resources into it. He's still going to have all 3 barracks. He's actually going to float one into the main to scout here. Kind of an interesting strategy when you have this many barracks. I suppose it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to get a full scout of the main with this. There's only 1 stalker here, so why not?
And he's going to see that Stargate come down from Drogo as well. So he's, like you said, completely aware. I mean, it's a bit odd to send one of your production structures out in the middle of the map already, but I guess he does get that extra scouting. Doesn't need to burn a scan or anything like that. And he's perfectly aware of what's going on in Drogoville.
Yeah, and he's not. It looks like he's going to save that barracks actually in the corner and just wait to scout in the future as well. He's not done with that barracks yet, guys. It's definitely going to have some more value and utility a little bit later on.
Well, now we're in a situation where Drogo is sending his Mothership core across the map. He's got a couple gateway units, and he's also finished his Stargate now. So he is getting up for his game plan. He's actually taking a really quick 3rd Nexus as well to try and catch up with that early game sort of pressure there from Daishi.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, with the build that Daishi is going for, the stim is going to be delayed, combat shields, stuff is going to be delayed. He's going to have a lot of room here to go for that kind of 3rd base. And if he can secure it, that's going to be 2 gold bases to just the 1 of Daishi, and he is going to have a ball in this game.
Absolutely. Speaking of balls, there was a ball of Marines there, and he had to recall immediately. There's no way he's going to float away from that many Marines on the ground there. Dropping the extra gateways to start padding out that ground army. It's looking pretty light right now. And you see that Oracles are the choice here from PtitDrogo, because obviously we've seen some Protoss preferred Phoenixes in this matchup, and going up for the Adept style, but I think that's starting to fall out of fashion a little bit. The Oracle, of course, we remember him from Heart of the Swarm, and
yeah,
still a very effective unit.
He's left a big mark on the StarCraft 2 sheen.
I guess it's a she.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what she can do this time around, because Daishi is very prepared. Lots of Marines in that ball.
Not in the mineral line, but he does actually have a turret in position, so the Oracle can't get too much done here. In fact, 0 kills.
Yeah, just going to poke a couple of SCVs. The barracks looks like it's getting another scout off here.
The barracks isn't going to do anything, Valdez. You lied to us all.
Well, I think it did get the scout there on that Nexus.
Oh, you knew there was a Nexus there. Come on, man.
So he's got all the information he could ever need here. And
yeah, actually seeing the 3 Nexus, you're right. Seeing 3 Nexuses is a really good tell there to the barracks. So I take it back, man. You're still the greatest.
It's all good.
This Oracle is in a bit of trouble here. Nearly gets picked off, but yeah, just trying to find any angle for some harassment there with that Oracle. Hasn't really found it yet. Daishi's really looking locked down back at home.
Yeah, looking very solid, and I think he's going to go with the push here. No third command center that I can see. Stim about to finish up here.
In the main, there's an extra. But, I mean, yeah, he hasn't dropped it yet, hasn't got that many SCVs. He's definitely been pumping out nothing but units for a while here, and he's sending them across the map and going to put on some more pressure, probably targeting this 3rd Nexus, as it is really the weakest point in Drogo's infrastructure right now, and he's identified that, starting to warp in some defensive units.
It's going to be interesting to see if PtitDrogo can actually hold this. He has identified where the Terran units are now.
They have Stim, and there goes one Stalker. He can already burn down that pile, and the Mothership Core isn't here yet.
And the blink is not yet done. Daishi's just coming in here trying to focus down some units, but...
I like that he's breaking off some Marines here. He knows he can't go for a straight engagement. Going to try and get some probe kills before Drogo cleans this up, but Drogo is definitely going to clean it up. There's no problem here. So not critical damage, and Daishi's push got completely deflected.
Yeah, that's not... I thought it would do a little bit more damage, but the gateways were finishing up. He just barely got enough Stalkers out there. Even without the blink or any other upgrades, it was just enough. And now he's secured that extra gold base. Daishi's getting up his own now, but PtitDrogo's definitely had that for a little bit longer here.
Has indeed, so he has that extra income, and obviously he had, like when Funko brought it up earlier, has the extra workers, so the infrastructure for Drogo is looking quite nice. Starting to kick into the macro now. Daishi with a 3rd CC drop can also pump out 3 SCVs at once. And with Drogo up to 6 gateways, he's ready to put on some counter pressure. Blink is done, or just about to finish here. And nice scan there from Daishi, actually. Completely aware of Drogo's position.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. It looks like Daishi should have enough, but I think PtitDrogo has enough here to trade for now. He's going to just catch 1 Marine and just play it safe. He's not 100% sure what's over there.
Well, the big deal is that, I mean, Daishi has +1 attack finished on his units, and that's very scary for a gateway army of Drogo, which doesn't even have +1 armor just yet. So, I mean, especially the Stalkers are quite squishy against Bio. He has +1 attack, but, you know, the armor is quite handy against his Marines. And, oh, he's actually starting to stim in and get a couple Stalkers here.
Gonna pick off a medevac here, but he's getting so many of these Stalkers now.
Yeah. A medevac pickoff is great, but losing 3 Stalkers for that, probably not so worth it. The Adepts are here, though, and they're trading reasonably well, but starting to fall. There's a lot of units here from Daishi with the medevac backing them up from the sky as well. He's actually trading very, very well here and pushing Drogo all the way back.
Yeah, I'm not sure if PtitDrogo really could have run away from that fight, but Daishi definitely getting the better end of that one. We do see the Warp Prism has come out here.
We are going to have... He needs those.
Yeah, I can't really be using, or rather losing units in the middle of the map here, especially when you're facing this many Blink Stalkers.
That's right. He has the army supply advantage by a good solid chunk there. And the worker supply is starting to even out a little bit as well. And with the upgrades on the way, looks like Daishi needs to get a bit more defensive. He's not going to just rely on units. He's got a Widow Mine there and bunkers being dropped as well. He knows that Drogo's trying to put on some pressure. Nice blink bait there. Another blink bait on the way here. Ooh,
nice burrow, but it's going to try to focus it down, but not quite going to be able to.
Yeah, Widow Mine does fire there. The Adepts are sort of soaking up the bio here for Daishi. The bunkers aren't just done yet.
Bunkers aren't yet done. PtitDrogo trying to put on the pressure. We do have a couple of Time Warps trying to come down here.
Yeah, and it's actually looking like PtitDrogo is starting to pressure Daishi back here. Bunker just finished now. It's going to help out a bit. The SCVs aren't there to repair, though. Actually, Drogo's units are getting quite low HP.
Yeah, very, very low. A couple of really great Widow Mine shots and a blink on top of the army of Daishi. I think it was a bit of a mistake. PtitDrogo getting a little bit too far ahead of himself.
That's right. Daishi takes a reasonably solid supply advantage there.
Look at how many warp gates there are out on the map right now, 11. And you really can support this because of how many minerals you do get from the 2 gold bases.
Yeah. He's quite gas-starved, though, so can't pump out many Stalkers and Adepts at once with those 11 gateways. He's going to go for a play in the main here. I love this from Drogo. Try and split up Daishi's attention and maybe even cut into his production here. Liberators are out, though, and that's always a scary time for the Protoss. Drogo's not looking at his army. He's going to lose a couple of his units here.
Losing a bunch, but a huge warp in the main, and there's nothing here for Daishi. He has to run back some units, but there were just 11 warp-ins there in the main.
And they're all Adepts, Valdez, the last unit you want in your main. Starting to tear apart the Terran there, and they are shading across, taking out so many SCVs.
I love the play there at the third base. PtitDrogo really pulling apart Daishi here. Didn't look like he had to fight in the middle of the map, but now he's taking it home.
Absolutely. Even if he loses all these adepts, I feel like he's done some pretty sweet damage to Daishi here. Really leveled out the playing field. I mean, look at the supply difference. Daishi was up almost 30 supply, and Drogo has evened it out by pretty much just wiping out his entire mineral line. Look
16,
at that.
15, they're still dying. There goes another one. But yeah, I mean,
wow.
He basically lost his entire economy there.
And that puts Daishi in a bit of an awkward position where he has to use this army supply advantage and try and get some damage done to Drogo here. If he just sits at home, I feel like it's going to go really badly for him.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. You know, the funny thing is I'm not sure he knows how far ahead he is in terms of army supply. It looks like he was just going for a regroup, but now he's going to push out.
Also, every stem's going to hurt a bit here. He's very, very low in medevac energy as he moves out across the map, but he has to do something, and these Liberators are going to be very key. But he picks one off there with a nice blink from Drogo.
I love this play out of Drogo. Not sure if it's going to win him the game, but it's going to give him the best shot.
Man.
Look at this once again.
If Daishi wasn't all in now, he certainly is. He's moving across. The Immortal helping out against the Immortals.
Immortals, the Widowmine's even getting in there. Drogo just backing off here, but way too much bio in a concave at the bottom of the ramp. Now
That's
going
right.
into that natural.
And actually, these Liberators zoning out the Protoss units. They're forced to come down here. A blink there from Drogo. He's taking out the Liberators. They are all gone. Does he have enough to stop Daishi's onslaught, though? The Widowmine softening up the Protoss units even more. Daishi's unit's quite low as well. Doesn't have any more medevac energy.
All these units are so low. Drogo trying to blink in here. The probe's even going to be pulled. And Daishi is going to be routed. Is going to have to go and back off a little bit. Looks like he's going to try to drop into that third base.
Yeah, he needs to get more probe damage done here because Drogo still has a bit of an advantage. He's still killing SCVs back on Daishi's side of the map as well.
Yeah, I mean, Daishi just never was able to deal with it. He was going all in with this one. He wanted to kill Drogo here. Scans, looking for another base. There is not one. He's just got a lot of income on 3 because he has so many harvesters.
Yeah, and Marauders did get nerfed in Legacy of the Void. But we can see they are still quite good against Stalkers there. The Adepts, however, not so much. Start to tear about the ground army there of Daishi. Daishi coming up with a reinforcement for the low ground.
He's got more units in here. He's not out of this one yet. We got another warp in here at the third base. Look at this trading. Daishi's doing a nice job trading here.
He's trading very nicely, Valdez, even without the medevac energy. He just has such a huge supply advantage for his army. I mean, a lot of that isn't here, but it is being rallied across. He just cannot stop this pressure. He has to kill Drogo.
This is on a knife's edge. Every single unit that makes its way across the map helps that much more. And there's not even that many warpins coming in here. It looks like Daishi may have tipped it.
He has done it. GG. Game number 1 going to Daishi.
Wow.
And there you go. Wow. The Leipzig champion already down 1 map. Daishi looking pretty calm and collected there.
What a way to start off the day, man. Start off the first series here, a huge back and forth game between those two French players.
A really weird start there with a 3 racks, just gasless, straight up marine pressure with the engineering bay block on the Nexus and bunker pressure as well.
Yeah.
That's a really entertaining game 1 to say the least.
Just
quite a bit in the history of StarCraft. In the bottom left here on Orbital Shipyard from Team Millennium, this is Daishi.
Good job on that last map, taking a really, really close game there. And up in the top right, in the blue, the Pleurodos player, it is PtitDrogo.
That's right. I feel like Daishi also has that swagger edge with that insanely sexy leather jacket that he's rocking there in that booth.
You got to look good to play good.
Exactly.
You know, that's what I always say. So
look good to play good, more GG, more skill. All those things are 100% convincing. That they are facts, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. White Rye actually coming down to the event for sure. Can't wait to see him. Haven't seen him just yet.
Yeah, really?
I've seen him in person before,
okay.
and we've hung out. But I mean, at this specific event, I want to say hello.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Gives good hugs.
Yeah, he does. Squeeze the life out of you.
Quite literally. Seems like a lot of Eastern European guys are just unfathomably strong for no reason.
Yeah.
It's we see that Drogo is going for a scout here, dropped his gateway immediately, and so with this game already different from the first game where Daishi's not being a cheeky sausage. He's just taking things easy here and he's going for a very standard Terran opener.
No more of that cheeky sausagery. Glad to see it.
Sausagery. Yeah.
Now we may go into more of a standard game here.
Mm-hmm. C's completely gasless. Daishi getting that quick, really, really quick second CC. And this is getting a bit more popular in TvP. So, I mean, obviously, Reaper Expand was all the rage for a lot of Legacy of the Void. And, the old gasless is coming back, harkening back to the early days of Heart of the Swarm and even Wings of Liberty.
Yeah. Of course, going to get a couple of Marines out here just to rule the front of the base and then eventually get that gas. Daishi's sending out his own scout here a little bit later, knows that there's going to be nothing really to push him out of the base, so
yeah,
keeping that SCV in the base for a little bit longer.
That's right. You want to wait a little bit before you go out there and see what's up because, you know, you want to see the juicy structures get the drop here and the tech paths and that sort of thing, and whether there's a second Nexus or if he's going for a quick third or anything like that, anything crazy. I mean, not on this map, but I'd be very surprised to see a quick third on this one, but see that Drogo is perhaps positioning to look like that, but anyway, 3 barracks is coming up here for Daishi. So
yeah, after that last game, I wouldn't be surprised if PtitDrogo was like, okay, I just want to make sure you're not doing that again or something weird like that. I mean, he did get the scout on the extra CC, but getting a nice little scout all around his base just to make sure that nothing weird is going on here.
That's right. Stargate going down to the backhand, and this time Daishi is unaware of it, so perhaps could be caught unawares if the Oracle comes a knocking. But I feel like most Terrans are sort of blindly preparing for that sort of thing. They'll ball their Marines and mineral lines and that sort of thing. So Daishi just macroing back at home. He's got his 3 racks up. He's got the reactor first and then going for the tech lab. So his upgrade's not too far away. And we'll just have to see what Drogo gets out of this Stargate. Like I mentioned in the first game, some Protosses still like to go Phoenix with the Adepts as well. It has been working out. But whether or not this is Drogo's style, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, have yet to see here, really, based on what I saw just watching some of his VODs. Definitely a pretty standard player, not one to really all-in you or just go crazy on you, really try to end the game too quickly. Definitely very confident in his own skills. We do have a bit of an interesting build here from Daishi getting a pretty fast 3rd CC on the way. Is going to delay that engineering bay here. But with the 3 racks, he will have enough Marines here to
he's gonna have a ton of
push
Marines.
Away that Oracle.
Second tech lab probably on the way soon as well for the combat shield along with that stem. So it's very, very heavy Marine here. And we see that Drogo has dropped those extra gateways and the Oracle is heading across the map for some damage, dropping that 3rd Nexus behind that as well. Scan from Daishi, see what's up. That's right. With the Frenchmen, I have to try my best to speak that language. You know how it is.
Speak at their level, yeah. Getting a nice scan down there. I think he did see the Twilight Council and the rope.
Oh, no, he didn't see the Twilight Council. Oh.
Yeah, but I think he did see the probe getting over there. Oracle now in the base. You can see just how many Marines there are waiting and ready. That
turret was perfectly timed as well. So Daishi reading Drogo like a book here and shutting down that Oracle harass completely. See that Drogo is the guy to go with Game 1 and Game 2 as well, looking like he's going to go for Blink. Stalker's being warped in, so that kind of solidifies what he's going for here.
Yeah, he's coming over here now, trying to find some more damage. Does get 1 kill.
Yeah, delaying the gas a little bit. I mean, it's, you know, it counts as damage, but it's only very, very minuscule here.
But the Oracle, you know, we always talk about the Oracles in terms of what they can do. Even if they don't get that damage, it's great for putting down stasis wards. You can get nice tags down onto the army. You can go in and scout, even if it's a very fast unit. With the Oracle, even though he didn't get that much damage, he scouted the 3rd CC and all the production of Daishi. So he knows exactly what's going on in that base.
It's an incredible utility unit for sure. I mean, many Protoss, when they go for Stargate tech, will use pretty much Revelation for the whole game. Like drop the tag, Medivacs, tag the bio army of the Terran and be completely aware of their positioning. See that Daishi's ready for that 3rd. Too many Marines. Oracle doesn't want to pick that fight.
Yeah, not this time around, but still, you know, just swooping in, getting a nice scout. Is going to get out some observers just in case, can litter them around the base here as well. Did scout the 3rd base coming out here. He's going to go for double forge here, an interesting placement at the 3rd base.
So like you mentioned, Drogo being a macro player and not you know, a standard Protoss, I guess, he's not afraid of the late game, and that's definitely what he's showing us here with this double forge going down. He is ready for a long one here against his fellow Frenchman, Daishi.
Yeah, definitely looking to get ahead in terms of those upgrades. We did see, I think it was just 1 engineering bay the last time around from Daishi, so if we can get double upgrades coming out from PtitDrogo, and he does get away with it, once we do get to that late game, is going to have a massively strong army.
Now with the robotics bay coming down here, is this going to be Colossus, or will it be Disruptor play from PtitDrogo? It's kind of weird. This is the only matchup when you see that structure go down, you're like, it could be actually a Colossus, even though we don't see that unit much anymore. And there's a Revelation there from Drogo tagging like pretty much the entire army of Daishi, but
yeah,
at least he gets an Oracle. He gets an observer there for his troubles, which is nice.
Yeah, but I love that you're pointing that out because it was all about disruptors first. When it first came out here, essentially, like
it still kind of is. It's an incredibly good structure.
But people are beginning to realize, like, hey, Colossi, if you add them into your army and you get enough Terrans really just don't build that many Vikings anymore. They've got some Liberators in there, but they don't have that mass Viking that you used to see in Wings and in Heart of the Swarm, so you can really get away with it if you get enough Colossi.
Liberator's air damage is quite awful. In fact, the Liberator would prefer to fight with their freedom zones against the Colossus. Forget their air damage, it is no good. I mean, unless it's a flock of mutas or something, but at this point, we're going to be seeing Colossus coming down here for PtitDrogo with a double forge as well, and charge lots on the way. This is going to be a scary army on the way for both players. Married up with their harvesters, 65 and 67, very, very close on the income there. And Daishi heading across the map for a bit of pressure.
You could tell that Drogo was thinking about that fourth base, but the Oracle gives him enough information to say, hey, Daishi's moving out. Maybe I should delay that. Maybe I need some more units to come out here to defend this push.
He has a lot of Stalkers here with Blink and Immortal, and Guardian Shield with that Colossus. Daishi might think he might have enough here. He's going to stem in. He has a nice concave.
He's got a really nice concave, and 1-1 is not yet done. Trying to focus down on Colossus. It does get it.
My God, he's actually got a very scary army here. He's taking away the big, juicy, expensive units from Drogo. I don't think he has enough to finish off Drogo's army, but oh man, losing medevacs here would certainly suck, but he actually gets away with it. Wow.
Really nice moves by Daishi to fly over the hole in the map. And at the same time, look at these Marines.
He's going to get some probe kills as well. Nice.
Yeah, he's going to get 4 probe kills for his trouble, so snipes the Colossus, gets the Immortal, the Sentry, all the important units. I think he got everything except the Stalkers. And then he just backs off and he saves all the medevacs.
Yeah,
it's huge.
And the huge gas sinks were the Immortal, the Colossus, and the Sentry. So
exactly.
Very expensive units to be taken out here. Oracle once again looking for damage. She hasn't pulled her weight yet. Actually, the Revelation tags would be nice though.
Yeah, he's going to delay that extra CC coming along. And it does look like there's some Vikings being slowly produced here, 2 at a time, as Daishi has identified exactly what kind of composition PtitDrogo does want to go into here.
So Drogo's heading up for the Supreme late game here, which is the Templar Archives coming down, so he's going to be ready for Storms and Archons and stuff, so, okay.
Have a bit of a pause here. Seems like the players may be getting some lag, but we should get into that game once again pretty soon. Should be easy to fix.
Yeah, I mean, the internet's pretty good here.
Yeah.
On my super underprivileged Australian internet that I'm used to, when I saw the client download here at this venue, it was
11 megabytes. You must have been really happy with that one.
I'm pretty sure I vomited a rainbow. Quite sure that's exactly what happened when I saw that download speed. So,
yeah. Well, Daishi looking a little bit jittery in the booth. Wants to definitely getting back into this game.
He's chill, man. He's chill. He's having a bit of a giggle. He's having a laugh.
He must be pretty happy about his position, though, in this one. I mean, he has taken so many just of these high-tech units out of the army. He's going for another follow-up push here, it looks like.
So one thing that I've pretty much only seen Daishi do, and a couple Korean players as well, where he knows that his engagement is about to go badly, so he'll break off like 3 or 4 Marines. Like he did it in game 1 as well. He'll just break off 3 or 4 Marines and just go straight for a mineral line.
Yeah.
And the Protoss is always going to be chasing the medevacs, are always going to be after those big juicy units. And indeed, Drogo sent all his army after those medevacs, and he's still got 3 or 4 probes for his trouble. So this is it's not a game ending, it's not critical, but it's just a nice little thing that I've noticed here from Daishi. I'm going to steal it for sure.
Yeah, we have another tag on these units, so looks like PtitDrogo wants to snipe some of these units before the main fight goes down.
Yeah, it does indeed. Second Colossus coming to join the party here, and Daishi needs to really sort of take this engagement very, very well, because he hasn't got that juicy concave, and he doesn't have a huge amount of bio, and really doesn't want to be too far away from the Liberators either. This is getting pretty scary for as far as army goes for PtitDrogo. He's nearly got all the money units that he needs. Yeah,
I like the idea from Daishi to move out there and try to take a fight. I think he did have the advantage, but the way that look at this, another 2 medevacs do go down.
Yeah, and that's actually, obviously when you're a Bio-Terran, you're taking out those medevacs, the units are very, very, very easy to deal with as a Protoss, and he does actually push forward. A reinforcement from Daishi though from the left. Catches Drogo unawares, and he loses a whole bunch of his army.
That was just huge. PtitDrogo did not see that coming, maybe underestimating the income right now.
I can't believe a Viking just caught an Oracle.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and that's 4th Nexus. I mean, Daishi doesn't want to get too ahead of himself here, doesn't want to get a boner, he's going to take it easy. He knows he's in a really good spot here with these trades that have been going well for him pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, I think all he's got to do here is regroup. He's going to have 2-2 to match the 2-2 of PtitDrogo, and he should be flying pretty here.
Yeah, and here are the money units for the Protoss. The Supreme late game army I was talking about, it is here. The Archons are coming through. Templars are going to be warped in shortly as well as that Storm starts to finish. And the Liberator harass here from Daishi.
This is cute. Just coming in, trying to get some damage down.
And not too much.
Even snipes a Stalker. But definitely going to be used a little bit better. But trying to distract PtitDrogo here.
That's right. Plenty of Vikings in the sky here. Mothership Core evaporates, and so does the Colossus.
And all these Zealots is being kited so well. They're getting 0 damage done. Daishi fighting outside the range of the overcharge at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the Archons are starting to melt as well. As the Widowmine's being pulled back. The Archon's very softened here. And once the Zealots are gone, I feel like Daishi can stim in and do a lot more damage.
Yeah, and he's got enough energy, it seems, at this point. You know, the Vikings not doing all too much after getting the Colossi, but they did their job. Now the probe's being pulled.
Probe's getting pulled. That's never a good sign, but Drogo does put him back to work. The units are starting to get low. Medevac energy a bit low. Will he hold here? It's looking like he will.
Yeah, it looks like he will just barely, but we do have another...
Oh, Medevac snipes.
Yeah, Medevac snipes. He's getting all those. We do have a big chunk of units, though, coming across the map. Maybe able to snipe this Colossus.
An EMP there on the Stalkers. Not the most amazing EMPs in the world, but he does actually maybe get... Yeah, he's going to get the Colossus. It's so close.
Oh, he just barely gets it. Another huge warp-in, though. And it looks like Daishi is going to lose all of these units after sniping that Colossus.
And those ghosts are very expensive there, and their EMPs weren't super useful, but yeah. At least Drogo survives for now. He holds the Daishi flood, as it were, as he did a lot of pressure there on that fourth Nexus. But we see that Daishi's getting his 4th CC down as well. It's only just being upgraded to a planetary, and well, I mean, Daishi's about to take a pretty nice upgrade advantage here with +3 about to finish, as Drogo's is a little bit away here.
Yeah, we do have an extra robotics facility coming along here. Wants to reinforce, maybe go for double Colossi, or maybe even add in some disruptors, try to throw it off Daishi.
Picking up from Marauder here. Nice little move there from Drogo as he blinks away.
Oh, look at this, coming in the side door.
There's a bunch of ghosts here.
Yeah, here's Daishi.
That's right, he's going straight for that probe line, and Drogo really just has to let him take it for now because he doesn't have enough units to fight this. He does come through with some charge lots, but they have been EMP'd, and the Colossus is coming in, but that's going to die as well. Oh,
just barely survives with 2
hit
health
points.
He needs to go in and get that.
There's that last Marauder shot, does get the Colossus. And actually with a flank here of Stalkers at the back, he could potentially get some full medevacs here. Oh!
One more hit, and it goes down.
Is.
And there you go, a full medevac. He has to be careful about those Widow Mines.
Yeah,
I hope he knows about them.
Well, without the Stalker, without an observer, I guess, the Stalkers are about to take a nice chunk here. Oh! Production, please.
It looks like he took one of them at least.
Yeah, at least a couple.
Yeah. But Daishi not stopping just yet. He does have that +3 attack. The Widow Mines have not been cleaned up. There is no detection over here for PtitDrogo.
Yeah, and once again, like when Daishi decides it's time to attack, he just does not quit. And he's been taking, you know, the trades for Drogo have been pretty decent, but Daishi has been nailed. Like, his macro is incredible. He's been pushing forward here, and this is the kind of move you need to do as a Protoss. But hold that thought. Another engagement here at the 4th Nexus. Desperately wants that Nexus kill. If he can get that Nexus kill, that's going to be huge for Daishi.
And it looks like everything's been cleaned up at the main, and look at this, just getting a really nice concave. Not that many units here for PtitDrogo. Trying to focus down that Colossus, just barely going to get it.
He does indeed. Loses a lot of that bio. Oh, the Stalker's getting a little bit fresh there with those liberation zones. Too much freedom.
Getting a little bit too cocky there. Is going to eventually kill that Widow Mine. And again, you were talking about the small group of Marines that likes to get really cheeky in the back door of the mineral line.
Oh, and he killed the Observer as well, so potentially mind play could be annoying here. But look at that. Once again, the army supply advantage for Daishi is astronomical. It's 60 supply.
Yeah, after that last fight, I don't know, man. He's just getting way too far ahead. We are going to have 3-3 finishing up here in just a second for Drogo, though.
Yeah, he's equal the upgrades with Daishi at this point, and Daishi is trying to engage here. The Archon's very scary, but look how much bio's on the floor here, Valdez.
Just way too much stuff.
Way too much, and he's targeting down the Colossus again. The Archon's evaporating, and this is looking really bad for Drogo here.
Just pushing in, and there's just not enough units. GG.
Daishi taking a 2-0. I might be looking like a fool with my 3-2 prediction there, man. Before I get escorted out of the building, like, it's really interesting to see Daishi win these games without drops. He's just been straight up on the ground here. And speaking of, in the north position here of Dust Towers from Millennium Gaming, this is Daishi.
Looking really calm in that booth now. Obviously very confident.
And that is a death
coming into
stare
game
there.
number 3. And in the bottom left, in the blue, the Protoss player, it is PtitDrogo.
That's right. The DreamHack Leapstick champion. Will he get 3-0 today? He's the #1 points holder, Valdez. You
Yeah, that would be a crazy story. The first series we got here on the stream goes down 3-0 if he loses this one.
So WCS, that's you know, the point leader going down after winning a championship so recently. But you know, like he mentioned in his very colorful interview before the series started, that the patch really did hit him a lot.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, he did also have a bit of trouble qualifying into this, had to go into that tiebreaker with Bly and Zanster, just barely winning that. And, you know, he eventually did make it through, but...
This is actually the cheese timing. Good luck, have fun. I feel like Drogo trying to get
a little bit delayed. That was,
he's trying to get into his Daishi's head a little bit here. He's like, waits 5 minutes before dropping the good luck and fun. But,
waits until they're on 3 bases, says good luck, have fun. So it doesn't make any sense.
Says it mid-game during an engagement.
Trying to get him to respond mid-engagement.
Oh, wow. I'd be triggered. Be pretty triggered.
Oh, yeah.
So you see that both players are, you know, nothing crazy in this game. It's not game one again, even though it is, you know, a 2-player map where these are generally the maps where you see a little bit of shenaniganry because you know the spawn position of your opponent and you can drop your proxies and be really cheeky. But both players are quite standard opening. Nothing really to report here as different or strange.
Brian Terrace is definitely the map for the shenanigans, you know, especially with the gold base if you're natural. You can really throw other players off by going ultra aggressive. But this time, I think Daishi, I love what he's doing, really just not going for anything cheesy, weird. He's just playing very standard.
We were just mentioning cheese and weirdness and nothing to report, but this Proxy Stargate here from PtitDrogo could potentially be the cheeky play that he needs to start getting a map on the board here against Daishi. He absolutely needs to win this game to stay alive in this tournament.
Yeah, Daishi here going for a nice extended scout with that SCV. Did go into the third base.
Same build order as game 2.
Yeah, I think he's going to wait maybe until some units are out on the map and then try to sneak into the main. And if you can notice that there aren't a lot of buildings there in terms of production, he will have some understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously has no Reapers. He opened just with straight Marines, so I feel like he's not going to know about the Stargate for a really long time. But that said, though, a lot of Terrans do pull their units into the mineral line. He could at least mitigate the damage of this Oracle, which is coming out now for Drogo. But I mean, you know, you're not going. He has 3 racks back at home as well. But that said, I mean, the 3 Marines here of Daishi are not in mineral lines, so.
And look at this, he went for 3 add-ons as well, so really delaying the production of the Marines that are coming out here. He's going to have 4 at a time, potentially, but the Oracle is about to be done. This is a very fast Oracle out of Drogo, and this could definitely get a lot of damage, especially if those Marines are not in position.
And he's taking a 3rd Nexus behind this, so I feel like if he catches Daishi unaware here, Drogo's going to be in an amazing position. Oh, he's waiting for 2nd Oracle. This is like, when one Oracle engages SCVs, 2 Oracles engage everything.
Yeah, and I've actually seen this before where you go for 3 Oracles and try to just straight go head on with all the Marines.
Disgusting.
If you can get them out fast enough. I know all you Terran players out there are puking right now, but it is a very powerful build. I'm not sure if he's going to wait for 3, but let's see what he does once the 2nd one comes out here.
That's right. And the 2nd one is out, and it's, yeah, he's going to go in with 2 here. So, I mean, Daishi, like you said, he has the ability to produce 4 Marines at once now that his add-ons are finished. And they are in position, but I feel, he's splitting up the Marines. I think 2 Oracles can actually engage that army on the left.
And the turret is not yet done. It's slowly getting there. It's about to complete, but here are 2 Oracles.
Yeah, and the turret is about to finish, but they can actually burn it down. The SCV is desperately trying to repair here, and they do get it. And that's bad news for Drogo. He's actually getting near the Marine ball to take it very easy here. Only 2 SCV kills for those 2 Oracles, and he's shown his hand to Daishi now.
And, wow, there's no turret here in the main, but he's got enough Marines, and, yeah, I'm not sure if he should have gone for that turret. It was extremely close, and had he burst it down, possibly he would have gotten a lot of kills, but I feel like going for just the straight-up SCVs there may have been the better choice. He had 2 Oracles in the back with no turret, no Marines ready.
Yeah.
And, oh boy.
Well, the one thing going for him here is that he does have 3 Nexus up, and he can prompt out 3 probes at a time, which is fantastic with the Chrono Boost as well. You see, look at the harvested difference there. Quite huge at this point of the game. And he's coming in with the Oracles again. The softened one getting targeted down by the turret. Cannot take one more volley. He needs to get out of there.
Yeah, this is the thing about this kind of build. If you have enough pressure, and 2 Oracles is perfect for this. If you have enough pressure to put on, you will keep the Terran in his base for a long time. We saw this a lot from Protos's over in Korea. They go for DT expand, go for a very fast 3rd base because the Terrans are having so much trouble dealing with the 1 DT. Same thing here with 2 Oracles.
And 2 Oracles coming in. There is a turret up in the main now, so The production, what comes out of the production facilities can actually deal with the oracles. One gets picked off there. And the big news here is that this two medevac pressure here from Daishi has quite a few units in it. I don't know if he wants to go for the main.
Yeah, but kind of unfortunate. PtitDrogo has scouted him out here. Well. He's got a lot of units, and he does have the stim and the combat shields. He's coming in here and just going for a big trade.
Yep, kills the sentry, no more Guardian Shield, and gets out of there, scared of that Mothership core. I don't even think there was a pylon nearby there, but you definitely don't want to be too close when that thing gets off there.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate that Daishi actually revealed the 2 drops, because I'm not sure that he definitely didn't see with the oracles, that is, the drops that were coming out.
And look at that 3rd CC from Daishi is so late here, and with Drogo already having his 3rd Nexus for what feels like already 5 minutes, he has an incredible supply, income advantage is what I'm trying to say here. He has a huge infrastructure at the moment back at home. Look at that income difference.
Yeah, and Daishi does know about this. I'm not sure if he knows the exact timing of the Nexus, but he knows this kind of build where you put on a lot of pressure and you get that 3rd Nexus up very fast. So he knows that he has to catch up, and this is how he's going to try to do it. He's going to try to get drops in the back door, maybe drop 2 places at the same time. He's got another drop coming out of the main right now.
Well said, Valdez. Exactly what's happening here. There's a drop. He absolutely needs to kill probes here. That little army there is going to be cleaned up for sure, but he is evacuating the probe line here of the back natural.
Yeah, not going for the main at the same time. He's going for that Nexus. That's a lot of Terran units, but...
I don't know if he has enough units to do that. Oh, 1 medevac gets picked up there by the overcharge. Actually, the Nexus is getting very, very low. Oh, he's going to get it, Valdez. Huge pick off there from Daishi. And that's going to start to even things up as this game goes forward and his 3rd CC drops.
That's an unbelievable pick off there, and he gets away with the almost full medevac, so he's not done yet. He's still got the entire map to himself, and now he's going to be up a base. That was a huge play by Daishi.
Yeah, an extra 20 probes, but only 2 Nexuses to mine off of. Drogo's got a pretty scary army here, does see this medevac. He has plenty of photon overcharges for that one as it drops. Medevac goes down, and the mines go down as well. Huge defense there from Drogo.
Yeah, just, I suppose, did not notice the Mothership Core and the Oracle in position. Is going to try to drop into the 3rd base now, just trying to get whatever damage he can.
Yeah, killing more probes here. Any econ damage you can do is nice because he has had the deficit for so long, but look at the supply difference. Drogo still has quite a few more probes and army than Daishi, but he is just pulling him. He's like spreading him thinly here, trying to pull his army apart in multiple spots here.
Even just those 2 Marines able to get 3 probe kills in the back door.
And look at that, Daishi now taking the income advantage with those mules as they start to die off.
Yeah, and he hasn't even taken this 3rd base just yet. He's going to take it right now.
So late.
And the Nexus in the back door for Drogo is about to complete, and he's going to try to take a 4th base at the same time.
No fear. The balls on this kid, dropping a 4th Nexus. So he's going for Colossus Tech again. And Thermal Lance on the way, Double Forge again. So this is just, I feel like this is just Drogo's comfort zone here. To have that later gain, to force it out, and just lock things down back at home as he gets his Death Ball going on. It's a very old, like, early Heart of the Swarm way to play Protoss, but with the new units, I mean, the Adepts definitely quite nice, and he is getting Resonating Glaives there for the extra attack speed for those Adepts. Uh-oh, there's a bunch of Marauders. That's not an engagement that these Stalkers really want to trade with right now.
Yeah, Drogo kind of funny just walking over the 2 Widow Mines, taking a bunch of damage, and then just sitting there. But I think he was trying to get out of the map, as we've been seeing him do every single game. Just try to trade with the Terran before the official engagement, the big engagement, does go down. Just try to snipe some units that he can. He's going to do it now with the Widow Mines.
That he's getting Widow Mines. And blinking away. So cleaning up this proxy Stargate, I mean, it hasn't really been a factor for quite a while here, but it's always nice to not have to worry about that anymore. +2 nearly done here for Daishi's attack units, but you see that Drogo is actually getting double upgrades instead of just the 1. So as the game goes longer, that's going to be advantage Drogo as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually getting stormed quite a lot faster as well, and I imagine that's because of his really quick 3rd Nexus in this game and not taking, I mean, he lost a Nexus there, but he already had so many probes left over that as soon as he remade it, it's just, look at that. He's still, his income advantage is still present.
He didn't lose all that many probes, and I'm really loving his position now because Daishi has really reeled back the aggression. He's not doing what he did in the first couple of games. He hasn't been sniping Colossi, Archons, anything really. He's now just playing into Drogo's macro game, and Drogo, I think, is going to be very comfortable with tons of Colossi, multiple Storms coming out once that does get researched. And the 2-2 you were talking about.
Yeah, Daishi hasn't actually had a favorable engagement against Drogo's army, but he hasn't actually hit or clashed with it too many times. He's mainly been harassing. Both players just trying to harass each other to death in the early to mid game as Daishi gears up for his fourth base and locking things down with the freedom zones and that attack warpath there for Drogo. He's actually going to see the CC and take it down.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Daishi really needs to get in position if he wants to hold this. Drogo getting a nice position on the higher ground. That fourth base is not getting up here.
Yep, see you later. There is another there's a fourth CC floating over to the closer position though. So not all doom and gloom here for Daishi.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the easier one to take. Just given Drogo's activeness out on the map, he's done a really nice job of denying that other fourth base. But
this looks like I think it might be a pure Marauder drop here. Okay, so Marauders and Mines there. A cluster of anti-Protoss is what that is.
Yeah. So we do have, it looks like Drogo's setting up possibly for a surround of some sorts.
Yeah,
maybe with the...
it looked like he wanted to do a flank here with the Templar, but they, finding themselves very expensive and important to his army and rejoining the support of that Death Bowl.
He's going to
prism
fly right over that, yeah. That knowledge is just the most important thing right now for Daishi. He knows there's a War Prism out on the map. There could be High Templar in there. He has seen the High Templar in the army.
Yeah, he already has Ghosts out, though. He's been producing them for the past couple, so minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. So he's got a really reasonably decent Ghost count on the way. 3-2 on the way here for Daishi. And starting to catch up or even take a lead in the upgrades.
Yeah. Now one Lone Liberator trying to come over here, deny some mining.
He's waiting for a Nexus and a Probe.
That's not the right base, Liberator.
That's all right. It's going to reposition itself here. Unfortunately, that's a lot of Blink Stalkers. He's going to be very, very careful.
Now let's see what kind of damage he can get done. The Stalker's actually not going the correct direction at first, but Liberator still out on the map. We do have, at the same time, let's see if he can blink in here and stop this. Yeah, it should be easy.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, back at home...
Storm Drop.
Yeah, we do have a Storm Drop coming in here to that third base.
Oh, and there's nothing here from Daishi. There's going to be a lot of SCV kills.
There it goes. Just nothing to deal with it.
8 kills for 2 Storms. That's so nice there as a Protoss player. And Daishi feels like he's got enough to get the job done here. Moving across the map. Plenty in the sky. Lots of Vikings for the Colossus. Big Storms going down from Drogo, and he walks through them a little bit there.
Yeah, kind of hesitating. He's going for the EMPs here. He gets a really nice one on all of those High Templar. Only one left over.
Lovely EMPs, and there's only probably 2 Storms left, I feel like, on that one Templar at the back. Missed EMP there from Daishi.
Trying to come up here and get those Storms. Now the Liberation Zone's coming down.
That's right. And the Protoss really cannot engage in that. The Vikings taking a lot of damage here. Still plenty left at the back there for Daishi. And he's starting to pressure Drogo back onto the high ground. Taking out that energy in Templar with a couple Marauders.
Yeah, I think that was at least one Storm. A big blink underneath the Liberators. He's going to get all of them.
It's so hard to decide whether you blink or don't blink under that many Liberators, and he does. Loses a lot of his Stalkers there. Daishi with a pretty nice army coming up the ramp here. He feels like he can engage this. The Colossus is gone. Just Immortals, Adepts, and Stalkers left.
There's not enough AoE here for the Protoss. We got a really nice concave. The Widowmine's now trying to join in here. It looks like Daishi is going to have to pull back, but the Widowmine's getting some nice hits.
Does indeed. Daishi doesn't have a huge reinforcement here in position, and PtitDrogo actually has Tempest joining the field now as well. Feedback's on a very high energy medevac, takes that down, and he's pressing Daishi back.
Yeah, those medevacs have to get out of there ASAP, and he really does need to regroup. It was looking a little bit scary there for Drogo, but he had a big Tempest switch on the way.
And it's just shield damage and a little bit of hull damage, not too bad, but still annoying.
Yeah, Widowmine's now trying to get cheeky, get into that mineral line and maybe get some damage done.
Gets that mine, so yeah, I mean, with these Tempests coming out, it's going to be tougher and tougher for Daishi to have those Liberators and even Medevacs on the field here. If he can get those Oracle tags, then he's going to be in a pretty lovely spot. You see he is starting to drop some static defense and gear up for that late game. Drogo is feeling like he's got this. He's got his upgrades are looking good. He's got plenty of production. Starting the Oracles as we expected here to get those the Revelations down on the Terran army so he can snipe them with the Tempests.
Yeah, and I love the timing of the Dark Shrine as well. He's going to be bringing that into drops, and even just defending drops like this, you know, one High Templar isn't going to be enough, and this is a lot of bio, actually. Could even focus down that Nexus.
He could actually engage the Gateway units and then kill the Nexus. The army of Drogo is away here, and it's just starting to come up now.
Looks like he's just going for the probes. There was a big transfer, and 10 probes go down.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of probes there. It's almost better than killing a Nexus, getting that many probes. And this medevac is taken out for his troubles as well, so... Yeah, it's kind of hard to say if that was worth it or not from Daishi. I mean, well, I guess it would be at this point. Is all about that late game.
The only thing I would rather see him do is maybe drop at the same time into the main or into the third base even, just try to get some more damage and pull that Protoss apart.
So the Dark Shrine is actually nearly finished here for Drogo, and that's a unit that kind of appears in the late game. If you haven't opened with the Dark Shrine, you see it in the late game, and it's just with the Warp Prism can be very, very detrimental to a Terran's health as the games go later and you get stretched thin. I mean, it's Legacy of the Void's that expansion. That's a lot more like Brood War. You see a lot more bases and a lot of harassment and that sort of play. And that is a nuke, Valdez.
There's a nuke coming down. I don't know if Drogo would have expected this.
I mean, he's gonna get a Templar, and maybe some probes on the left, but yeah, he kills that Ghost. Wow, no fun for us. The nuke does get denied.
We had a little bit of fun, but oh, look at this! He pulled the entire army out of position. Is gonna snipe that Nexus finally.
Yeah, pretty big pick off there. The Liberators coming in, but they are very, very softened, and they're getting pulled apart very quickly. There's a huge Viking count in the sky here, and the Storms are softening up, but they are getting rid of the Tempests.
Finally, the Storm's coming in here. I'm not sure if these Vikings are going to be able to clean up everything, just barely getting that second-to-last Tempest.
Storm's going down there on Daishi's army, but it does still live. Plenty of medevac energy, and he's stimming up for more probe kills, but Drogo is in position. One more Storm to seal the deal here, and that is gone.
Drogo in position.
Drogo.
That is true, Maynard. I love it. But I love the fact that Daishi actually engaged there. He took out a lot of the Tempests in the sky. It's going to take a very long time for PtitDrogo to get that back up, especially after losing that base to the top. Just getting that snipe and then trading after, I feel like, was a really nice turn of events there for Daishi.
Well, at this point, I mean, apart from the fact that we're seeing nukes, with the Liberators really not being useful anymore now that there's a Tempest, this is starting to look kind of like a Heart of the Swarm game here. Well,
it definitely is. Kind of funny how we've come full circle in only about 3 or 4 months, but... I suppose that is the way of the world.
This matchup certainly can end up that way, as you know, with Colossus being pretty much only welcome in this matchup. You won't see it come out of from Protoss against Zerg or even in PvP. It's all about that disruptor.
Yeah. We did have the 3-3 just finish up here for Drogo. We did have Daishi on that for a very long time, not even including +2 ship weapons there. So Daishi had the big upgrade advantage for about 5-7 minutes of this game, but finally now Drogo has caught up.
Has indeed. So they're at that late game. No forges, no engineering bays needed anymore, and he is looking for a nuke, but unfortunately, I think Drogo saw the shimmer there. Oh, an EMP there on the Templar, taking away a couple Storms there.
Yeah, not bad. He's got a nice little ragtag group of units here, trying to snipe some Stalkers. Definitely not going to work out for him there.
Unfortunately. Daishi now pressing the issue here. Plenty of units, lots of EMPs left on those Ghosts. Gets rid of the Oracle, does get tagged though. So the Tempest is still a little bit of a worry for him. He has so many Vikings with +2 attack.
Daishi has to be very careful with these Ghosts. He's losing way too many of them for free. These Stalkers just blinking in and sniping one after the other.
Yeah, walking straight through some big Storms there from Drogo, but he does still have plenty of bio left on the ground, and Drogo has to pull all the way back.
He's coming back, a huge Storm there. Not that many Vedevacs in the sky. Actually, I don't see a single one, and all this bio is very, very weak. He's committing.
Yeah, and one medevac for all this bio. It is very soft, and you're right, Valdez. So he needs to pick this engagement very, very carefully here. That's a nuke going down there as well, by the way, which is going to kill his own Liberator.
Oh, it actually gets the Colossus
as well. Oh my God! He gets the Colossus, but he loses 3 Ghosts and Liberator for it.
I'm not sure it matters at this point. A lot of Storms coming down here, but the bio is pushing in. Some desperate warps coming in, but look at this. Some Marines even on the ramp of the third base.
That's right, taking out some of the Adepts there on the low ground of that natural, and he is just engaging Stalkers with Marauders there, and that's always an engagement the Terran wants to see. And let's see, the supply advantage is for Daishi, and he's starting to pump out those medevacs. And I feel like once they come out, he's going to have a pretty scary army again. It looks like both players have just decimated each other. Like they're back at that low-tech units.
They really have, but I definitely will favor Daishi in the straight. A lot of his units are very low, though, so he has to back off. But here come the reinforcements.
That's right. Bio is pretty good all game long. There's a GG, and Daishi takes himself a 3-0 against his fellow Frenchman there, Drogo.
Unbelievable play